It is said that the more you hear something, the more likely it is that you will begin to believe it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, organics of all ages, I'm Double R, and today we have a double rant. First will be over no. The second part of the rant will be over media's influence on the population. But the first part of the rant will be over the basic. Do not trust media. Do not trust celebrities, and minimize your trust to content creators. Or in short, do not trust content creators. This can be summed up with the infamous phrase, trust but verify. For those of you who don't understand where this comes from, it is the second part of listen and believe. A lot of people tell you to simply listen and believe the victim. It is presumed 100% that the victims are always telling the truth, and there is never an ulterior motive for the victims to come forth. Trust but verify says, that's fine and dandy, we would still like some evidence. We would like something to confirm that what you are saying is indeed true, as opposed to being used as a weaponized mechanic against someone else. After all, we have seen plenty of those, haven't we? The reason why I am stating that one should not trust the media, or celebrities, or content creators, or anything like that, and they should maybe trust but verify if they are going to drop that. If they are going to trust, they should trust but verify. I'm emphasizing this simply over the fact that a lot of people like to presume that the media will tell the truth straightforward, which they will not. They all have political slants, they all have agendas they wish to push. The sooner you get used to this fact, the better. This is why some people like to watch, say, Fox, while others like to watch CNN. It's pushing closer to their personal ideological. It is pushing closer to their ideological. It is pushing closer to their ideology. Because of that, this is why folks will say Fox is fake news, while people who watch Fox say CNN is fake news. Their ideology dictates. Tribalism, if you will. This is where the culture war is pretty much coming up from. Tribalism. So can you trust media? No. And if you do choose to trust the media or celebrities or content creators, then verify. If you will trust, then verify. This will cover your butt. This will not have you look like an idiot later on. I assure you, you do not want that to happen. If you do not believe that the media, especially news or anything of that nature, has such an effect on you, answer me this question real fast. Michael Jackson, guilty or innocent? If you said Michael Jackson is guilty, you have trusted the media. You have not verified, but you have trusted. You, in short, have listened and believed. I know I make this sound somber, but I want people to understand the situation at hand. Celebrities, content creators, news outlets will all push very simple things to push along their version of their ideology. The reason why I bring up Michael Jackson, and I'm stressing to you now, as my audience, that he is innocent and not guilty, is because the media ensured that they told you as many times as possible that Michael Jackson was guilty. There was even a court case in 2005 where Michael Jackson was found innocent. However, this brings up the second phrase I've learned, that I've personally developed, because the second phrase holds a lot more water nowadays. Where the first phrase was listen and believe, but trust but verify. That's the first phrase. I didn't make that up, I didn't touch it, other people made those up, and they're trying to fix it. The phrase I wound up making up was guilty until proven guilty in the court of law, or as I see fit. Let me explain. Michael Jackson is the example we're going to stick with. The media has convinced a lot of the people who say he's guilty that he's guilty. It doesn't matter what family members have said, it doesn't matter if the evidence is conflicting or contradictory to itself to say he's guilty. No. Don't worry about all that. The media said he's guilty. That's how people see it. And many people will defend with the following. Well, I saw Leaving Neverland. Yes, you saw a person who's used to writing inflammatory articles take on the director's seat and grab two people who have a personal beef with Michael Jackson, who can somewhat act and tell a good story behind the backdrop of sad music. Music is a hell of a drug, but because of their testimony, people have gone to the whole lengths of, yeah, because I seen this and because it drags the dead through the mud, I totally agree Jackson is guilty. Why do you agree with this? It's very simple. The media has told you there are three lives. The media has told you Michael Jackson is guilty, and they beat this into your head from 93 2019. If you do not believe that they beat this into your head, think of the movies you've watched. Think of the television shows you've watched. Think of comedians you've listened to, and think of any joke Michael Jackson has come up within those shows. Those shows, those movies. Yeah, you're starting to get my point, right? All they have to do is keep infusing into your mind, having you hear it over and over again, even in a joking manner, that there are 3 lights. All they have to do is push that. So when Leaving Neverland came out, people naturally agreed with it instantly. Not just because there's testimony and sad music with moderate acting, but it shows that the media has done its job, at least to those who believe it. To those who decide to trust but verify, there were problems when they started verifying. This is where the evidence starts crumbling. This is where the story doesn't look as pretty as it should. I'm not going to call it any names, but there's a few of you who know that you say don't trust the media, but you have proven yourself to trust the media. You may wish to work on that a little bit more. Let's move on to topic 2. The media's influence over the population. There was an accidental slip, a Freudian slip if you will, where one of the newscasters said, if I remember this correctly, they said something about, it is our job to tell you what to think. The second part of this rant will be over the media's influence over the population. A while back, I can't remember what news anchor it was, it just popped up and, wow. She said it is the job of the news to tell people what to think. And of course people were like, oh, there it is, the Freudian slip or whatever. And they laughed about it and they let it slide. Here's the issue. She wasn't totally wrong. For years, the news has kept their spin pretty well hidden, and as long as you believe what they said, they got their job done. If you don't believe me, how many of you, from the start, when you were younger, or even now, say, yeah, Fox News, that's fake news. Yeah, they always lie. It's Fox News. Show of hands. Be honest. This is because other news has gotten to you first, and they've ingrained that into your mind. I'm not saying Fox is always correct. By Fox, no. Not even. But at the same time, I'm not going to say that they've never done anything truthful either. Again, ideological stances. Yeah, I don't say that word very well, so. But why would I say media affects the population? Well, for those of you who've kept up with this new channel, you've understood that I've come out with something called the Myths Against Roleplay, where a movie, one of a few, pretty much bashed Dungeons & Dragons. They stated it was satanic and it would corrupt your mind and whatever. And one of those was, I believe, Mazes and Monsters, which starred Tom Hanks, where Tom Hanks went issue 2. Well, Tom Hanks decided to go type 2 and believe he was his character Pardue, which caused so many problems. But because there was a movie about it, and it was out there with Tom Hanks, people started leaning a little bit more to the side of Dungeons and Dragons is bad. This also came out with other things like skullduggery and things of that nature, where role-playing, especially tabletop, was looked upon as more satanic, more evil, etc. You get the idea. The media blitzed that from the get-go, and how do people see D&D now? It's a geeky hobby. It's stupid. Only nerds play it. Yada yada. Blah blah blah. And only recently has that gotten pushback. Why? Movies have influenced people to be against it. I've also stated that roleplay is nothing more than the unprofessional version of acting. Acting, of course, is a professional, someone who gets paid to do it, role-playing cosplayer, or cosplaying role-player. It all depends on if they're good at acting or they're good at wearing outfits. Whichever way you want to take it. But double R, that doesn't mean other media is that bad, it's just the movies and the television. Nah. I'm not done with you yet. Anita Sarkeesian and a certain senator decided to try to spin the fact that the more games you play, the more sexist and violent you will become. I disagree with that. Research disagreed with that. People have said movies will make you more violent and more sexist and all that. I disagreed with it. Research disagreed with it. But someone pointed out a few years ago that I made a video saying music influences culture. And I do believe in that. I'm pretty certain. And a lot of people will sit there and go, that means you're a hypocrite. Not exactly. Hear me out. When you play a video game, you are aware you are playing a video game or watching a movie, depending on who the video game director is. For those of you who know what I'm talking about, Metal Gear, it seems to be more of a movie than a game, but you know when you're playing a game. You follow, you're playing League of Legends, you know you're playing a game. Comprende? You watch Scarface, you know you're watching a movie. Got it? You're seeing Game of Thrones on TV, you know you're watching a television show. You're following what I'm saying? You're able to actively identify that this is what's going on. But music isn't all of that. Even the professional League of Legends players, they have music in the background to get them in the mood, to keep them psyched in their game. Many people who play video games often have music for the mood. Most games have music to set the mood. Most movies have music to set the mood. In fact, even Tim Pool stated that in Captain Marvel, they started playing No Doubt's I'm Just a Girl, which came off kind of weird to him. Music was not placed well, it got him out of the immersion. Weird how music has such a hold on movie, television, video games. Sometimes when you're reading, you want to have mood music in the background to try to stay immersed in the book. You're noticing a common theme? Music. Now, why do I say that it actually influences culture? Well, let's think about it. Black people can say the N-word with an A or an ER, and no one bats an eye. Why? How many hip-hop songs, rap songs, have black people just throwing that word out there willy-nilly, just all over the place? A lot of them. And yes, I'm snapping for a reason. Music does that religiously. Several will do it. Several songs, back to back to back to back to back. In fact, a lot of you will notice that there's a phrase online called thick, T-H-I-C-C, which is based off of the old school Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. No, it isn't. Yes, it actually is. Sir Mix-a-Lot was the first one to step forward on a grander scale in music and say things like, little in the middle, but you got much back. He was glorifying the big butt, pretty much. So people started going with it. Now we have stuff like, oh, I don't know, everybody talking about skinny bitches are bad, being thick is good. This chick is thick. The term bad. Michael Jackson had a song, Bad, where he pretty much redefined the word bad as meaning badass. Yeah, let that sink into your head. Michael Jackson trying to redefine the word bad as badass. But you get the idea. It's stuck. He just perpetuated that. And it's stuck. Well, those are just a couple examples, Double R. Define racks. Bike racks, spice racks, hits, sets of money. Yeah, one of those was just very recent. Why was it promoted this hard? Music. Think about all the slang that comes out. How's it perpetuated? Think about all the terms that come out. How's it perpetuated? First, through music. Then they kind of put it in movies of the time. That's why people say this movie will not age well, because it's of the time. Strange how that happens, isn't it? This happens for many phrases, this happens for many sayings, this happens for many, many cultures. In fact, there's a song out there that pretty much says, fuck the police. Because it was emphasizing the problem between the police and the black community. It doesn't matter What the police do now doesn't matter. Are they still hammered by the black community as being against black people? Yes. Yes, they are. Is it still being pushed and perpetuated in music that police are always against black people? Yes. Yes, it is. Strange how that lines up, isn't it? However, you can play a game where you're literally a cop and you're trying to stop a riot. And people realize, hey, I'm playing a game. It doesn't promote cops any better, does it? Hell, even that recent Spider-Man game that came out in 2019. What did people say? Oh, you're Spider Cop. They made it a negative. Spider-Man, who's helping the cops, gets hit with a negative connotation because he's helping the cops. Strange how that can't do anything to move the needle off of cops being bad, because music has already implemented it and woven it into your mind. Just like there are three lights. And if you wonder why it's happening, why it's able to influence so much, why music can move society so easily, think about it. I've already given you examples. In TV, in movie, when you're reading books. When you go to a store, shut the fuck up, walk into the store, and just listen to the noise around you. You'll notice something in the background. Music. When you're driving your car, do you drive with the radio off? Do you drive listening to absolutely nothing? No. You have music playing. Usually songs that you like. Usually songs that have a upbeat theme, and either you haven't noticed the lyrics before, or haven't listened to the lyrics before, or haven't paid attention to the lyrics before, but you are listening constantly to music. If you've noticed, I've left music out of this one. A lot of my rants, I've purposely left music out, because I do not want to promote anything continual like that. Fortunately, I only go with instrumentals. That's just me personally. Anything with lyrics, I try to avoid when I do rants or anything like that, if I have to put music on here. And there's a very specific reason behind it. When you next go into the car, check your Bluetooth, check your chip, check whatever is holding your music, and take some time. Listen to your songs. Listen to the lyrics. You sing along with them enough, you should know what the lyrics are by now. Have you noticed a theme? Have you noticed messages? Let me give you an example of what I mean by this. The song Right Round from Flo Rida is actually a take on Dead or Alive's Spin Me, right round, baby, right round, like a record baby, right round, whatever. Point stands. That Flo Rida's version is pretty straightforward. His version is more like, Can You Blow My Whistle? That song, it's its own thing, right? We agree? Flo Rida's song, Can You Blow My Whistle? We're agreeing with this? Let's go. This is an example, okay? Flo Rida has a song called Can You Blow My Whistle? Does he mean a referee whistle? Does he mean a dog whistle? Does he mean the metaphorical dog whistle? No. Listen to the lyrics. Then come back and put in the comment what he means. Or, let me save you some trouble. Listen to the lyrics, and you'll find out he's talking about getting head from someone. Huh. What if you're a soccer mom, and you just like the beat, and you're singing along, not thinking about it, and you're taking kids to soccer practice? Good going, Mom. You have officially and effectively sung a blowjob song to those kids in your vehicle. Well done. Good going. But that's what music does. All it needs to do is hook you with a beat and a good chorus. And they can get you to say whatever they want. They can get you to believe whatever they want as well. Hell, reaffirming guys getting multiple women is a good thing. You don't believe me? Ask Mr. Worldwide. Ask Mr. Steal Your Girl. So many songs are all about stealing your girl. So many songs. So many songs about it. I'm so good I can steal your girl. That's very strange, isn't it? That becomes more common, and people are getting less and less offended. Bad bitch. Women don't like being called bitches. Unless you say they're a bad bitch. That's a compliment. Where did that come from? Give you a hint. There's a few songs that talk about it with a pretty good beat. Just saying. Just put it out there. So yes, some media can easily influence the masses because it keeps striking without the masses knowing. So, to put this in application of the first part of the rant, with the 3 lights, do you now understand why you can easily believe that Michael Jackson is guilty? Because you have constantly been hit with lyrics where it's a throwaway line, movies where it's a throwaway joke, television shows where they just bring it up randomly, news telling you constantly that he's guilty. Even after the court case, to instill into you the belief of guilty until proven guilty in the court of law or until I decide he's guilty. That's how it works. And that's what media does. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying don't listen to music. For fuck's sake, I'm not saying that. But I am saying be mindful of the lyrics. Don't turn your brain off and just listen mindlessly. Keep an ear out for the lyrics. And if you can do that, you'll see how it's trying to steer you. Look around. Notice how people listen to certain songs and how they act. You'll see a small reflection of it. I mean, after all, thugs don't sit there and listen to country all the time, do they? You're not hearing classical, are you? You don't go into a club and you're not hearing Beethoven. You're not hearing Bach. No. You're hearing stuff to get you to dance. You're getting to hear stuff that's constantly getting you to think along those lines without you knowing it. Mr. Worldwide, Mr. Steal Your Girl. And people are getting more and more okay with it. Let that sink in. Let it sink in that people are using the N-word thinking it's okay to use the N-word because they heard it in many songs. And then, of course, the black community goes, you can't use that word, it's our word. And people go, I don't know what the difference is. I don't understand why you're upset. I heard it in a song. I heard it in several songs. I thought it was a normal thing. Rush Hour had a great example of it. A very good example of it, actually. Where Chris Tucker's character was talking to another black person, and he used the N-word and walked to the back. Jackie Chan's character wound up thinking, okay, this is normal. That's just a term of endearment, like bro. Okay, cool. So he uses it, and he starts a fight. Well, that's just to write it in the... No. In the movie context, it is to write a fight scene. That is fine. But that is a reflection of what is going on in society. A lot of these young kids, especially these privileged white folk, and I say privileged white folk because they don't know. They're privileged. They don't know. They hear these songs and they go, yeah, that should be fine. So they use the N-word to a black person, and the black person's like, you're gonna die. So keep this in mind. Do not trust the media. That is the main crux of this whole thing. Do not trust the media. And yes, media can influence the way you think. It can influence the way society reacts. It can influence what society says as slang, raps, the alleged N-word with an A or a hard R, depending on who says it. How people treat thick folks. Did you notice? Did you understand? Probably not. You're probably thinking I'm just a crazy dude saying music's bad, don't listen to music. No. If you take nothing else away, take away these 2 points. Point 1, do not trust the media. Period. Point 2, when you listen to music, pay attention to the lyrics. Understand what the message is. When you start doing that, it has less of a hold on you. This is why reading books are less effective on changing your personality. Playing video games is less effective in changing your personality. Watching television shows, movies, things of that nature, all less effective in changing your personality. But music can constantly hammer you. Remember that. And when you do, it will have less of a hold on you in the long run. And you'll come to understand things a lot better than you think you would.
Alright, in this second half, we are going to speak about media in the basic term. Media, of course, covering comics, books, television, movie, games, and music. Well, we'll start with Jack Thompson saying video games promote violence. Anita Sarkeesian says video games promote sexism. Then you got this asshole right here, which is me, saying music influences society. Wait a minute. Hold on. What? Let me explain. Books, such as comics and normal books, you have to open them up, you have to read them, you have to actively consume said product. Television movies, you have to pay more attention to it. You're actively watching it, trying to get the idea of the story, trying to watch it, whatever. And the only time it's considered a afterthought is at the drive-in, Netflix and chill. You get the idea where your intention is not for watching a show or a movie at all, really. And their logic for video games is pretty much because more people are doing it, so naturally, by default, they have become numb to the suggestions, thus they are naturally influenced by it so easily. Which, again, I don't think so, because, again, you have to interact with it. You have to make that conscious step to go into it. You have to remember that it's there. You have to keep up with it, or pretty much you lose the game. You have to be somewhat active in your mind to be aware of the situation. All of those all hold logic of you have to interact fully with it in one way, shape, or form. You have to apply more than one sense to it. Except for music. Let me explain real quick. You guys already been here long enough for part 1. I don't want to take another 20 minutes for part 2. You follow? The reason why I'm saying this is because think about the genres. There's, of course, country, rock, rap, hip-hop, and then quote-unquote pop. Pop, of course, is just the basic generic sound that's very popular. Pop has also been influenced by things like hip-hop, rap. Pop has also been influenced by things like hip-hop, rap, a little bit of rock here, a little bit of rock there. You get the idea, depending on the time frame you're in. So, with all this being said, you may be wondering, why? Oh, why? Is Double R saying that music has a better chance at influencing society? Well, let's think about this. Let's just think about it for a moment. If you listen to, say, J-pop, a lot of them is like, push forward, work hard, do your best, keep going, find love when you can. And how are a lot of people acting over there in Japan? They push on, they work hard, and love is an afterthought. Job first. Work so much that you even pass out on the way to work. You pass out at the job. And if you just pass out, that's looked on as a good thing. Strange. But surely only Japan and probably Korea have that problem, right? Well, let's take a look over here in the United States. What did our pop music say? Live life when you're young, go to the club, have fun, get drunk. A lot of people are going to try to steal your girl. You know, Mr. Worldwide. Sleep around. Drugs, sex. Would be rock and roll, but, you know, rock and roll ain't a thing to them. So, you kind of get the hint, right? The general feel of most pop music in America is, look at me, I'm a superstar. I can steal your girl or I can steal your beau whenever I want. I'm at the club 24/7. I'm hustling. Hustling. I'm a thug. Straight up thugging. How do a lot of people act in the States? Take any community. Take any community. How do they act? A lot the same way. A lot of folks want to go to the club, want to spend money on drinks, want to dress themselves looking like each other for some reason. Unless, of course, they're black. For some reason, the black community seems to want to be thugs. They want to get shot 5 or 6 times and then walk around going, man, I was shot selling drugs, and it don't matter, because I'm a badass. I'm a real G. Yeah. You're a real G, alright. And people are trying to figure out why black kids who are trying to do good at school get bullied by the real G's. Gee whiz, I can't imagine. Surely it has nothing to do with the constant songs telling them to be hard, telling them to be thugs all the damn time. Clearly it has nothing to do with that. Clearly that kind of music has nothing to do with it. Clearly it's only GTA. Okay. I'm going to have to draw that line. I'm going to have to be that guy. Because music has this one advantage that many other medias do not. You do not need to actively interact with it. Let me walk you through this part. And then we'll just end the video after that, okay? Think about what you do when music is playing. Working out. Cleaning the house, doing chores, doing your homework, reading, playing games, watching movies or television shows. Wait a minute, did I just say music is in movies? Television shows? During normal activity where I wouldn't be consuming these medias? Well, it's not like they're in video games too. Oh, wait, music is in games too. Hell, a lot of people complained about Captain Marvel having one specific song. No doubts, I'm Just a Girl. Why? Because it caused people to lose their immersion. Or that song, in so many words, was an aversion to the immersion. That's right, I said it. Come at me, bruh. And if you don't think society is influenced at all by music, think about how the black community treats cops, and vice versa. There's been a long history of bad blood between cops and the black community, right? Were there any songs about it? Fight the power! No, there can't be any songs like that. Fuck the police! No, can't be any songs like that. Maybe back in the day there were, but not nowadays with everyone singing about stomping pigs and fuck them police and screw the cops and... That went nowhere fast. That just made it worse. Well, at least society isn't that bad. Oh, yes, it is. What the hell am I talking about? Of course it's that bad. But at least the black community isn't going after, young black children trying to learn or anything. It's not like if a black person speaks well, they're not called white. Oh, wait. Black kid at school trying to do well, trying to be academic, trying to learn, gets bullied by other black kids. Wonder how that came up. Surely it has nothing to do with music. Surely it was nothing to do with the songs and such telling them to, be hard. No, it has nothing to do with that. 3 songs have come across trying to promote a good message. And one of which, sadly and strangely, was from Katy Perry. Yeah, kind of want to put myself in the noose on that one too. But she has a song called Change the Rhythm. Very basic message. Unfortunately, she put on an album where the rest of her songs are pretty much the antithesis. She put on an album that was the antithesis of that first song. Like literally, that first song is way out of place. One of these songs is not like the other. One of these songs just doesn't belong. Change the Rhythm was that song. Because the rest of the album was pretty much standard fare. Eat my pussy. It's the best pie around. Fuck, sex, club. You get the idea. Another one was from a guy who said pretty much that his mom told him, don't ever call a woman a bitch, no matter the context. And yet, if you call women now bad bitches, they're okay with it. It's not like there's songs that refer to them as such. No, none at all. And of course, the other song, I believe, was from Nas, if I remember correctly. And he was pretty much pointing out that a lot of quote unquote rappers were doing dance rap. Put your left foot in, you take your left foot out, bitch. Left foot in, then you shake it all about. But that wasn't his song. His song was pretty much saying that black people were turning their art into a minstrel show. Literally. He literally put on blackface. How can a black person put on blackface? He did. And the song, if you don't believe me, because this one's going to be the one that people go, there's no such thing. Look up, eat that watermelon. Eat that watermelon. Eat that watermelon. Eat that watermelon. Show is good. Literally. He was showing that the way, if everyone kept doing these stupid rap dances, that's where it was going. And yet it took a while, but it started slowing down. It took a while for that to happen, but it started slowing down. Then music slowed down a lot. And now there's a bunch of soulful ballads. And you got Charlie Puth singing about women cheating on him while they're together. Well, at least he's not doing a Taylor Swift thing. I'm pretty sure he has a different type of song out there besides just that. I hope. Please. Puth, please. Please don't go to Taylor Swift route. Do not go to Taylor Swift route. Stop. Stop while you are ahead and do something different with it. Please, 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 please. Please. I'm begging you, dude. But that all said, music does influence society a lot more than you think. It's only because a lot of people say the same thing. I like the beat. I like the beat. They don't listen to the message. They don't listen to the lyrics. They just listen to the beat. So, don't consider this homework, but consider it something to do on your off time. When you hear your favorite song come up, or you hear a song that you like, play it again, but focus on the lyrics. Focus on the message. See if the message itself is good. And then ask yourself, where is this on the charts? Where does it stand on the pop charts? Is it in the top 100? Was it listened to a lot at the time? Ask yourself these things. Think about it. Songs that you like, are the messages good or bad? Are the messages positive or negative? Or are you going to be a soccer mom in a van full of kids singing about blowing whistles. I'm Double R. I'm out. And think about it.